This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcome to another live, this early morning live. And let me get my settings just how I need them. Here we go, there we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. What's up, everybody? What's up? 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 What's happening? It's live and direct. Hailing this signal from metropolitan Atlanta, Georgia. My birthplace, my birthright, my foundation, my cornerstone. To the rest of the world, all mine. Oh, how I love you so, this entire globe of possibilities and realities that I have experienced. If you're not knowing, ONYXCON is a 501c3 nonprofit arts and creative lifestyle organization. And we cover a multitude, I repeat, a multitude of niche material. Multitude, not one niche, no, not one topic, not one category, not one area, not one lane of focus, multi-niche content on purpose. On purpose. It makes them nervous because they can't figure out how to use the algorithm on somebody who understands that the algorithm needs to catch up to me and my mind in our time. And I do mean our time. We got the right to do what we shall and will with our content. So we do multi-niche. And in the process of doing multi-niche content, we cover everything from my experiences as an artist, and that means many things because I'm an artist in many ways. Actor, writer, producer, drawer, painter, sculptor, photographer, poet, bit of a musician too. I do a great many things. And so in regards to building all this content, I've come to realize over the years, and this could apply to a lot of things, not just building content. This is just a good life advisory. I've come to realize some things. But when you're doing creative endeavors, and I've spoken on this many times before, this is nothing new. Oh, hold on, let me say this. Views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of ONYXCON's affiliates, associates, sponsors, etc. Okay? Okay. All right. Make sure we always on the same page around here, you know? So, you know, there's a great many ways to approach doing any creative endeavor, but most that will reach the masses require, I mean, you know, family assistance, close friends assistance, or new business associate assistance. New and old. They come, they go. And that's the real thing to learn. They will come and they will go. Only, I repeat, only real family, blood family, people who are born into your, you know, they're part of your lineage, who are true. Notice the words I'm using. Who are true, because I got some real ass family. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mother, shout out to my father, shout out to my sister, shout out to my cousins, shout out to my uncles and aunties and all my realest of real. I got some real ones, you know what I'm saying? Real ones. When you got that, you got your armor for anything. I repeat, anything. Add on real friends who will become over time, if they real friends, like family, and you got an impenetrable mental and physical armor. I've always known that. And even when that has gotten scratched or tarnished or bumped, it didn't fall off. It's still on you. It's still the armor, and it gets repaired, and it gets stronger, it gets bolder, it gets colder, it gets realer, it gets ready for everything. And I understand that when it's the other, though, when it's the individuals you come across in life that you realize, oh, I thought this was a true friend. Oh, I thought this was a good business associate. Oh, I thought this person was ready for a certain level of professionalism, a certain level of achievement, teamwork. Ooh, those words, good gracious alive. Teamwork. When you realize that some people are not ready for that, the best thing you can do, I want y'all to hear me this morning. I want y'all to really listen to this part, because somebody needs to hear this morning. The best thing when any bit of ish hits the fan, you don't have to wait for a full blast of ugly. Just when the least bit of ish hits the fan, nip it in the bud. Cut ties then. Sever. People talk about, oh, you don't want to burn your bridges. Once you realize there was no bridge to begin with, what you need to do? Burn it, crumble it, disintegrate it, bomb it, whatever. Delete. My favorite line from all of the John Wick films, and I love those films. I pretty much have the whole collection. The only one I'm missing, I think, is that last one. I got to get that one. I bought them all, and I've seen them all. And I love that character and that world. But the greatest line in that whole movie is when, and shout out to the one with the thumbs up, appreciate it. Of the hotel where all of the secret organization resides out of and operates, that John Wick is a part of as a master assassin and all of this. When they done with you, when you've when you've broken the boundaries of the covenant of the order, what do they say? Excommunicado. Excommunicado. That's my shit. Woo! I love that line. Do you understand I love that line? When I tell y'all that right there is the one to live by. It's the one to live. Because one thing about it, if there's no communication, there's nothing. And once someone shows you they have poor communication, they lack the fundamentals of good communication and adhering to the very rules that a lot of times some people will put down. They'll say they want certain things a certain way and all this, and it sounds great. It's what it ought to be. It's within the order of what works in the universe. It's, as I like to say as a Mandalorian, this is the way. But a lot of people love to align themselves with great things and greatness and things that are full of order, but be of complete disorder and disarray in their own personal and business way. Like they'll be lacking, and if you just sit back long enough to watch and see what they really do, how they really act, how they really react to being given suggestions, advice, recommendations, etc. on the process of doing something that requires a team, they will let you know when they are not ready. And the saddest, most bold thing about not being ready is, sorry, y'all, I'm a little distracted by this amazingly huge part that's being shipped on this back of this trailer I'm next to, so I just had to acknowledge that thing. Like, what the hell is that? Like, that's amazing. What is that for? What type of tool is that for? let me blend that in with what I'm talking about. So you have to have the right tools on a team to get the job done. If you say you're going to start a business walking dogs, what would be one of the tools you would have to do that job? Someone might yell out, hell, a leash, maybe a bunch of leashes. That's a smart person, whoever said that. Why? Because even though it's a business where you may be walking dogs for other people who are your clients, and you might assume that they have a leash for their dog, and they probably should, or you could make it a rule that you got to have a leash for me to walk your dog, you would still have an extra leash of your own just in case. Because that's expected in that line of work. If you say you're going to be serving breakfast and start a breakfast-based restaurant in America, see how I'm lining this up where you can't go around it because it all makes sense? In the cultures of America, if you say I'm gonna start a breakfast place, man, well, probably the first thing you're gonna need, it's gonna be pretty hard to get, right, or expensive to get nowadays because of the way the prices on that has gone up, is what one food item would you most need opening a breakfast place somewhere in America right now? Probably some eggs, right? Well, damn. Shit. We got eggs, 12 dozen eggs, a dozen eggs that used to be $3 and $4 now going for $6 and $7, sometimes depending on what kind of eggs they are, 10 and all kind of crazy prices, right? But it would behoove you to at least have some damn eggs, right? Right. You know? So, oh my gosh, a lot of what I've encountered over my years in various forms of art endeavors and working with teams, whether it be producing the convention that I had so much success with when ONYXCON was originally just a convention, or mostly, it was never just a convention, but mostly known for being a convention. Thank you again for another thumbs up. Appreciate you. I see you. That's my monetization nation right here. That's my real ones right there. That's always the real ones. Thank you so much. But you know, in all them years of doing that, man, when I tell you, I had more great, reliable, trustworthy, respectful, had to have more better than worse, because otherwise I couldn't have done it that long. I would have been like, I gotta nip this in the bud. I gotta end this. I can't keep doing this. And that still happened eventually, but because of other reasons, not so much. I mean, it was partially because of some of the stuff you endure with, you know, poor vendors and people who don't understand proper business protocol and things of that nature, whatever. But you also get to a point where you're just like, you know what? I got other things I want to do in this life. And if I don't start changing things up for myself, I'm going to miss my own parade. Like, what the hell? No, not going to do that. Not going to do that. So I'm going to keep giving this thing to the world and showing this love for the arts and showing people a different way to live life in a creative manner and do it successfully. But we're going to have to do it outside of the guise of just a convention. The bureaucracy involved in doing that at the venues themselves. There's people in other positions, for their positions, that cause the conflicts. It's never the real creators. It's never the real artists. You know what I'm saying? The artists who know they are artists. The artists who live the life of art life. It's not them most of the time. Sometimes even they mess up too, but you can usually get back right with them. It'd be these other folk. It'd be these folk who just are so robotic. You know, the corporate-minded types, those who think that everything is they really do believe in, like I say all the time, the division of all, because you can use this formula and it'll work out for you. They live by money, power, respect, like Lil' Kim said, instead of like Prodigy before he passed was growing into a new evolution of an MC, and on a track he did called Call of Duty with Jay Electronica, he said, respect, power, money. In that exact order. That's the lyric. That's the one to live by. That's the one to live by right there. You know what I'm saying? Respect, power, money. Put respect the biggest, then make power a little bit smaller but still big, and then put money. If you really want to get real, you can go beyond money. You say resources, but that's the next chapter in the book. A lot of folk ain't even ready for the first day of class, so we got to start with what they know. We got to just say, money. They all know what that is. So respect, power, money, in that exact order. There's no way around it, people. But when you encounter individuals who lead with money, power, respect, they money. And if you ever deal with somebody in business, in creative endeavors, and anything, and they have a little money, keyword here, little, but they think that they're doing something because they're able to acquire certain basic things. They got what's perceived to be a nice vehicle, what's perceived to be, the wealthy home and all this other stuff, but they just basically live in cookie cutter, expensive house with a mortgage. They don't own the land they're on. If the bank comes and gets it, they still homeless. You know what I mean? But they think they really doing it because they got some flow that they can sit on. They got some investments they can sit on. And even those things are tied to, I've said this in other concepts for all, this is a whole nother level of conversation, but it's tied to other entities' ability to provide power for what they do. See, I'm under no illusions as I'm speaking to you right now through this phone. I pay a bill on a phone. I pay a bill that basically allows me the power to make money as I do through this use of this tool, but I don't have a higher respect for what's called a smartphone than I would for the minds of human beings or the best people in my life, because I respect them and always them first, and my relationships with them first, because guess what? This phone without electricity ain't shit. This phone shit. Somebody's knocking on wood saying no lies detected. You better believe it. Because for those who understand that, no matter what happens, the vehicle I'm driving in, it relies on petroleum. If there's no petroleum, it don't move. But the universe gave me a body. And the biggest blessing is I'm able. Thank you, universe. Universe blessed. My legs still work. My arms still work. My brain is functional. I'm prioritized in health. Therefore, I always have wealth. So it does not matter. Yeah, it makes life hella more comfortable and more what we all want to live on a day-to-day basis because we're used to it. But I'm under no illusions that all the stuff that we rely on and think matters, at the end of every day, if it goes away, I know what matters most. And this is why I maintain respect first. My close friends, family, and even business associates, because I know if need be to nip things in the bud, if anything gets out of hand. Once I get to the point of excommunicado, it don't matter about nothing else. It's done, and it's for the best. Because productivity comes out of respect. It starts with respect. It will always end with respect. When people say safety first, safety and regards for safety is a form of respect. And what I've noticed also about that is a lot of times when people who get caught out of bounds, of doing things that are not the safest. And I'm not just talking about physical safety, I'm talking about mental, for the morale of the team, for the concept of saying you're doing something as a team. You have to all be at least on enough of the same page to respect not only the vision, but everybody involved in the vision, everybody's input to the vision, and understand that there is no, I've never liked the word outside of proclaiming it for myself. I've never liked the word being used in a business. Like when I've done my thing, I'm gonna say the word is boss. I say I'm a boss, I say boss, and I mean that. But when I say boss, it's self-governance and the emitting light of that if other people appreciate it, we can work together. And I like to be in a room with real other bosses. So at the end of every moment of that, no one is a boss. We just some boss ass motherfuckers in the same room. We all bosses making it happen. That's how I love to work. I love to work with other bosses. And if ever I've had any job, it was always a supervisor. As soon as somebody come out their mouth, I'm your boss, well, now we're gonna have some problems. I don't have but one damn boss. That's me. Child of the universe. I don't have but one damn boss. That's me. Any job I've ever taken, I don't work for you. I work with you. It's as literal as law. In my state. In Georgia, they call it a right to work state. Well, hell, if you want to make that literal, there it is. I got a right to work. An employee has a right to not hire or retire my services. Just fine and good. Because a boss can not only make his own work, but he'll never rely, or she'll never rely on any one thing for work. And what I find about a lot of people who don't understand this, and when you do create excommunicado, they tend to be very scared of their reputation, and they always think that you're gonna think that they're so important that you're gonna go tell everybody, hey, this person over here, they ain't dirty and they ain't doing right now. Ain't gotta do that. It's a waste of my time. I've learned that going back to even doing my conventions, there were individuals who fell out with my organization. And the funniest thing was to just sit back and press autoplay on the chessboard. And you would forget about them and be on to the next fool that you gotta, slay that dragon, deal with that charade, or whatever, right? And you would get a notice out of nowhere. Hey, Joseph, what's up, man? From one of your real ones, one you're still cool with. Man, oh man. I used to wonder why you stopped having such and such at the convention. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, who? Bruh, oh man, I ain't heard that name in so long. What happened? Well, I just stay out of stuff. If I see that people fall out, I try not to make it my problem for their problem. So I never understood why you stopped dealing with them. But bruh, man, I understand, bruh. Do you know what this fool did? No, what now? And then they go lay it out. I said, goddamn. And it's always worse, people. Whatever they did in your lifetime, whatever you endured with them, it's always worse. So you don't have to even spend any time, like people who are always like that are always worried about, oh, does somebody know I'm crazy? Don't you go telling everybody I'm crazy and I got problems and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. They ain't gotta say nothing about you, man. You gonna be all right. Just keep taking your pills, whatever y'all need, you and her and all of them. It's gonna be all right. Life gonna serve you properly. You ain't gotta worry about that. You ain't gotta worry about that. Life is something for that. It gets us all if we on the wrong side of it. You get on the wrong side of life, karma's a son of a bitch. It's gonna find you out. You ain't got to do nothing but wait for it all to come to par. It will come to pass. It will come. So yeah, I said all of this for anybody who needed to hear it, to just, if you know, if any part of what I have shared here speaks to your heart and things you're going through or have been through, just know, hey man, it's the human story. It has good times, bad times, in between times. The main thing to remember is, as soon as something creates too much disorder and dysfunction in your life, it's okay for you to excommunicado. You have the right. You will always have that right. And it is the ultimate strength. Peace and blessings and wisdom to all. Have a productive day. And stay living your best art life. Peace and blessings, y'all.